New Year's Eve is supposed to be about hope, fresh starts, self-improvement. Historically, it was about ghosts, demons, naked luck rituals, and drunk people screaming at time itself. So today, let's count down the weird facts about New Year. Facts so strange they make your New Year, New Me resolution look reasonable. The first New Year was in March, not January. The ancient Romans didn't start the year in January. That would have been too calm. They chose March, the month named after Mars, the god of war. Because nothing screams new beginnings like sharpening swords, yelling at neighbors, and immediately invading someone. Self-reflection was optional. Violence was scheduled. March wasn't symbolic, it was practical. Winter was over. The roads were clear, and Rome was ready to remind everyone why it owned half the map. So while modern people write goals like drink more water, Romans wrote goals like conquer Gaul before lunch. Same energy, different body count. January only became New Year's much later, when Julius Caesar showed up and said, "Let's reorganize time itself." He named January after Janus, the god with two faces, one looking backward at your failures and one looking forward at the exact same mistakes. Rome invented calendars and immediately used them for procrastination. So if New Year's resolutions feel fake, rushed, or aggressively ignored by February, that's tradition. New Year was never about peace, rest, or self-care. It was about timing, power, and pretending change was coming eventually. Basically, the original New Year, same chaos. Rome would be proud. Babylonians celebrated New Year for 11 days. The Babylonians didn't believe in a New Year's Eve. They believed in New Year's endurance. 11 straight days of ceremonies, feasts, and rituals. Because if the gods controlled your crops, weather, and survival, you didn't risk offending them with a casual countdown and cheap fireworks. This wasn't a party, it was a full-time religious obligation. At the center of it all was the king. And by center, we mean publicly humbled. The high priest would slap him, strip his royal symbols, and force him to confess he wasn't chosen by the gods, on purpose. If the king cried, it meant the gods approved. Ancient performance reviews were intense. Why all the drama? Because the festival was about resetting the universe. Chaos was symbolically defeated. Order was rebooted, and everyone collectively agreed the world deserved another chance. Think of it as an ancient system restart, except instead of turning it off and on, they bullied a monarch and sacrificed animals. So when modern New Year's feels underwhelming, remember ancient people took 11 days, terrorized their king, and begged the cosmos not to delete humanity. Compared to that, your countdown, hangover, and abandoned resolutions by January 5th are historically lazy. People used to make resolutions to gods, not themselves. New Year's resolutions didn't start as gym promises. They started as contracts with the divine. Ancient people swore loyalty, honesty, and good behavior, not for self-improvement, but so the gods wouldn't destroy their crops, families, or entire cities. Self-care came later. Survival came first. These weren't gentle goals. They were legally binding promises to beings who controlled weather, disease, and fate. Miss your vow? That wasn't personal growth. That was floods, famine, or mysteriously bad luck for the rest of your bloodline. Ancient accountability systems had no mercy and zero unsubscribe options. The logic was simple. We behave. The gods don't ruin everything, so instead of go to the gym, people promised to pay debts, keep oaths, and stop angering invisible sky managers. Religion wasn't motivational. It was a threat with a dress code. So yes, when you skip a workout or break a resolution today, nothing happens. No plagues, no divine punishment, just guilt, and a slightly tighter waistband. Compared to ancient history, modern New Year's resolutions aren't weak, they're merciful. New Year was believed to attract demons. For many ancient cultures, New Year's Eve wasn't a party, it was a security problem. People believed the boundary between years was thin, meaning evil spirits, demons, and bad luck could slip through unnoticed. Midnight wasn't magical, it was suspicious. So humans responded the only way they knew how. Noise, drums, bells, shouting, anything loud enough to scare invisible monsters with no physical bodies. Fireworks weren't celebratory, they were auditory violence. Less Happy New Year, more leave or else. Even costumes had a purpose. People dressed like demons so actual demons wouldn't recognize them. Ancient camouflage. Basically, if evil couldn't tell who was human, it might just get confused and go home. This was spiritual defense powered entirely by fear and bad planning. So when you scream during a countdown, blast music at midnight, or light fireworks you probably shouldn't, you're not celebrating. You're participating in a centuries-old demon eviction ritual. The spirits may be gone, but the noise, tradition, the color you wear is supposed to control your fate. In several cultures, New Year's destiny isn't written in the stars. It's written in your wardrobe. Specifically, what color you wear at midnight is believed to decide your future for the entire year. Not your choices, not your effort, your outfit. The system is simple. Red means love, yellow means money, white means peace. And if you wear the wrong color, that's on you. The universe gave instructions. You showed up in black and hoped for the best. Some traditions take this further. It's not just clothes, it's underwear. Yes, your most private fabric is apparently filing paperwork with destiny. Ancient philosophers debated fate, virtue, and free will. Modern humanity solved it with color-coded underwear. So if next year goes terribly wrong, don't blame your decisions, blame the laundry. You didn't fail, you mismatched fate. History is clear on this. The universe respects effort, sacrifice, and coordinated outfits. Some people eat grapes for luck, very aggressively. In Spain and parts of Latin America, New Year's luck is decided by fruit. At the exact moment midnight hits, people must eat 12 grapes, one for each month of the year. This is not symbolic. This is a timed event. Eat too slowly, and destiny moves on without you. There is no room for chewing, no room for joy. Each grape must disappear before the next second ticks away. Miss one grape, that month is cursed. February trips you. July disappoints you. December already gave up on you. This turns every New Year's party into a silent panic ritual. Music stops. Talking stops. Everyone stares at the clock like it owes them money. Doctors recommend chewing. Tradition recommends speed. Tradition usually wins. So while the rest of the world makes wishes, some people begin the year fighting produce. New Year doesn't start with hope. It starts with choking hazards, stress, and determination. Is it logical? No. Is it traditional? Absolutely. Luck, after all, respects commitment. Some countries clean their houses to remove bad luck. In Japan, New Year doesn't start with fireworks. It starts with cleaning. Before the year ends, homes are deep cleaned from top to bottom. Not for guests, not for aesthetics, but to remove bad luck that's been quietly living there all year. Dust isn't messy, it's suspicious. This ritual is called osoji, literally big cleaning. The idea is simple. You can't welcome good fortune into a house that's already occupied by last year's chaos. Spiritual renewal apparently does not coexist with crumbs. So while some cultures scare demons with fireworks, Japan evicts them with organization. Bad energy isn't fought, it's politely removed. Every wiped surface says, "You had a year, please leave," which explains why luck avoids most of us year-round. We don't lack ambition, we lack vacuuming. According to history, fortune doesn't chase people. It checks the house first, and if it sees dust, it keeps walking. New Year's kisses were a supervision requirement. Kissing at midnight wasn't romantic, it was preventative maintenance. In the past, people believed entering the new year alone meant condemning yourself to 12 months of loneliness. This wasn't about love, it was about avoiding destiny. So when the clock struck 12, People didn't wait for the one. They grabbed the nearest human, friend, co-worker, mild acquaintance. The logic was simple. Any kiss was better than no kiss. Consent as a concept was under construction. Social pressure did most of the talking. Refusing a kiss wasn't personal. It was seen as risking someone's entire year. Romance took a back seat. Superstition was driving. So if a midnight kiss still feels awkward today, that's tradition working as intended. It wasn't designed to be magical. It was designed to be mandatory. New Year's kisses didn't promise love. They promised survival. Anything more than that is a modern upgrade. Romans gave gifts to avoid angering fate. Romans didn't exchange New Year gifts to be thoughtful. They did it to stay alive. These gifts were called straini, small tokens like coins, fruit, or branches, meant to bribe fate into behaving itself. This wasn't generosity, it was a spiritual protection fee. The logic was simple. Start the year empty-handed, and fate might assume you were disrespectful, or unlucky, or asking for problems. And Roman fate didn't warn you. It just ruined your crops, health, or entire lineage. These gifts weren't expensive, but they were mandatory. Even emperors participated because no amount of power protected you from superstition. You could rule the world and still be nervous about skipping a New Year offering. So when modern people say, "I don't have to give gifts," history disagrees. Gifts began as offerings to avoid cosmic retaliation. Kindness came later. Guilt came much later. And fate, still watching, just quieter now. New Year's Day used to be illegal in some places. There was a time when celebrating New Year's Day wasn't just frowned upon, it was illegal. Puritans believed celebrations were dangerous, too loud, too joyful, too suspiciously fun to be morally acceptable. To the Puritans, New Year's parties looked like chaos. Music encouraged dancing, dancing encouraged sin, and sin encouraged happiness, which clearly couldn't be trusted. So celebrations were banned, and joy was placed under supervision. People were fined, scolded, or publicly shamed for ringing bells, hosting feasts, or celebrating at all. You weren't welcoming a new year. You were violating the moral noise ordinance. Silence was virtue. Fun was suspicious. So if modern New Year's feels tame, remember, it used to be illegal. Fireworks replaced sermons. Counting down replaced confession. And tradition didn't change willingly. It was dragged into fun kicking and screaming. History confirms one thing: people will celebrate anyway. Fireworks are basically spirit weapons. Fireworks weren't invented to look pretty. They were invented to terrify the invisible. Early fireworks were meant to scare away evil spirits, bad luck, and anything supernatural thinking about staying past midnight. Beauty was accidental. Noise was the point. The logic was simple. Loud noises frighten spirits. The louder the boom, the further the bad luck runs. Subtlety wasn't an option. If something survives explosions, it deserves to stay. Over time, fear became entertainment. What started as spiritual warfare turned into synchronized explosions set to music. Modern fireworks didn't change the goal. They just added color, choreography, and better marketing. Same fear, higher resolution. So when fireworks shake windows and annoy pets, remember, this is tradition. You're not celebrating. You're defending your year. And if the spirits are still around, clearly you didn't go loud enough. New Year's foods are strangely specific. New Year's food isn't chosen for taste, it's chosen for symbolism. Across cultures, what you eat at midnight is believed to influence your entire year. Dinner becomes destiny. The menu becomes a contract with the universe. Round foods symbolize wealth because they look like coins. Pork represents progress, since pigs move forward and don't look back. Noodles mean long life, so cutting them is basically tempting fate. Suddenly, chewing wrong feels dangerous. This turns New Year's dinner into a strategy game. Eat the wrong thing? You might invite poverty, stagnation, or chaos. Eat correctly? Prosperity might consider stopping by. No pressure, just your future on a plate. So while some people make resolutions, others load their plates with optimism and superstition. The universe may not care what you eat, but history insists it's watching. Because when fate is involved, you don't snack, you negotiate. Time itself used to be reset. In ancient civilizations, New Year wasn't a vibe. It was a legal system update. Debts were erased, prisoners were released, contracts were wiped clean like someone rage quit reality and hit new game. Society didn't hope for change. It forced it at midnight. Kings would publicly announce forgiveness because nothing says divine authority like canceling everyone's problems once a year. Your landlord? Reset. Your loan shark? Gone. Your terrible business deal? Spiritually deleted. This wasn't optimism. This was cosmic customer service. The logic was simple. If time is starting over, society has to start over too. Otherwise, the universe might notice the inconsistency. So chaos was allowed, but only briefly. Think of it as a controlled societal software reboot with drums. Today, we reset by saying, "New year, new me," and immediately doing the same nonsense. No debts forgiven, no contracts erased, just a slightly louder alarm and a gym membership that won't survive February. Time moved on. We didn't. New Year's luck was believed to last all year. In many ancient cultures, New Year's Day wasn't just a celebration, it was a performance review. Whatever you did in those first hours was believed to set the tone for the next 12 months. Laugh on January 1st? A joyful year. Cry before breakfast. Congratulations, you scheduled sadness in advance. This belief turned New Year's Day into a hyper-controlled ritual. People avoided arguments, avoided breaking things, avoided debt. Because tripping on your doorstep wasn't just clumsy, it was a prophecy. Food mattered too. Eat well on day one, and abundance would follow. Eat poorly, and the universe would assume you were fine with that. So yes, your January 1st meal was basically a negotiation with fate. Today, we wake up exhausted, dehydrated, and already late. If ancient logic still applied, that means the next 12 months are sleepy, chaotic, and fueled by regret. So maybe the tradition didn't disappear. Maybe we're just ignoring the warning signs. So next time you count down to midnight, remember, New Year isn't about motivation. It's about superstition, fear, fire, and hoping time doesn't notice you exist. So, Happy New Year, and may your resolutions survive longer than history says they should.